and this is Divine Unisouls, and I am Divine Sunshine. I'm coming to you with a message. I just posted about the podcast that I did with Barbara of Ethereal Sorceresses 777. Sorceress. Did I say sorceresses? Sources. Ethereal sources. Sources. Thank you. 777 is hard for me to always say because I like to say 77777 and tease about the ending and to say it seriously. We talked about in the podcast something that I had dreamed about, and it is in the DM energies that I picked up in a dream, because I do the I Have a Dream series. I haven't had did one with you guys along. I've been dreaming, but I just haven't had with you all and told you about what I have been seeing. And so it was interesting in our conversation and us talking, and she was saying that the DM was tired of us divine feminine energies or people talking mess, she used another word, about them. And I say, oh my God, that kind of coincides with the dream that I had about my dad. So the dream started off with him, my mom, and myself in my old childhood house. And my two dogs were there too, and they have not seen my childhood house at all. I had another set of dogs that would be more familiarized with, but that was interesting, and I placed myself there. We're coming down the stairs, and my father is proceeding to say, "That's it. I'm not taking it anymore. I'm tired of it. I'm tired. I want a divorce." And I was like, okay, what's going on? And so he stated that he wanted a divorce. And I said, why? And he said, I'm tired of your mom talking about me bad. And so I was like, oh, okay. And so then as he exit out the doorway, there's a pair of work pants there hanging by the door. And my dog, my black dog, Ebony, if you all seen her on the show before, proceeds to follow my dad. And I had to go catch her to bring her back into the house and then put her where the stairs that leads into the living room. I placed like a white gate there, and I put her behind there along with Ivory, which is my other dog, which she's white. And that's why I call them Ebony and Ivory. And so he comes back, he's off, he's upset. My mom finally comes downstairs like, what's going on? And I was like, he said he's gone, he can't take it anymore, he's not dealing with this anymore. And he comes back, looked like for one more item, and then he was like, I don't want to talk about it, don't talk to me, it's fine, this is what I'm doing, that's it. And so it's late at night. He proceeds to go back out there. I told Mom, I said, don't say anything to him, I know exactly where he's going. So next following day, scene change. We're going to like a restaurant, outdoor cafe. It's like, I think it was Sunday. To me, that happened on a Saturday. And then Sunday, we come in there. And so it's a beautiful sunny day. My dad is eating in an outdoor cafe. It's like the restaurant, but they got the part where restaurants that you can eat outdoors, which is similar like Dad, but not like Dad. My dad likes to sit outside, but I don't know about him eating food outside, which lets me know that I like, is his dad or is he representing the divine master energy? So when I walk over there to it, Dad has like this beautiful purple violet like suit on with a lilac shirt with this beautiful tie that has all these vivid colors of fuchsia and blues and purples and whites all mixed into this tie, and this tie is just jumping. And before this backstory, I used to dress my dad. I always say that was me. He was my little Ken doll. Like growing up, it's like I never did stop playing with dolls. And so my dad became my human little doll. And so then I was like, oh, I get to dress Dad. And so I would always dress him, well, kind of towards the end. It didn't too much I could do, but as far as I could do it, I was dressing him. And so he's out there, and he had all his papers and crap all around him. But my dad was avid. Now that's him. He liked to write on napkins. pieces of paper, anything he could get his hand on. So we were proceeding to come up to the table, and he's got all this crap all laid out around him. He just scrabbled on every last thing. And so when I walk over to him, he said, I got it. I know what I need to do. And it's going to take me $6,600 to do it. And I woke up. So I was like, oh my God, that's an angel number. So I wrote down some notes, almost like 12 things. And so I'm going to read through them. I pray that my handwriting, because my handwriting can get very interesting. I did it on yesterday, but after I interviewed Barbara, I wanted to kind of see, did I have any more epiphany that had came from it. And so I'm going to read to you, because this is very a catalytic moment, which means it's a push for us to really understand that, like, what is going on. There you go down some. What is actually going on with the divine masculine energies across the board? And when I talked to Barbara, we're talking about it, and I told her in the podcast, we talk about divine masculine energies, not just in relationships, but the divine masculine energies, even in cultures, how we present ourselves on the outside. It's like, I'm tired of it. We get into the point where we want to really, truly get out of that paradigm shift. I was watching Fences, and Fences, I was listening to how Denzel, if you watch that movie, that's way back there to the Harlem Renaissance time, and back there in those times, and how he was talking to her like, woman, you know, like, I lay the law down and you don't have no say so, is what I said. And some of that stuff when he was talking, and I'll be honest with his trigger, I was like, I kind of hear that kind of talk in some masculines that I know. I won't put people on Front Street and roll the school bus over there, throw them underneath the bus and just roll it and come back on them. But you know, it has been. And I was like, wait a second, where I heard that talking from before? I'm like, oh. So that is, again, a templating of that woman is my way, that macho man, that male chauvinistic thing about those roles. And we know we're getting to that point where we've got to release that. This is where we are now. So I'm just going to read it to you. As well as what I said. So I told you a little bit about it, and I said with Barbara that it's like the divine masculine energies are getting tired of being typecast, and that's what I'm going to title this. It's like it's a certain role that people are expecting them to be, or a certain way they're supposed to act, certain way, and that's even as a female. There's some things, again, that as a female they expected us to be damsel in distress. She was talking about, even on the show, how they're saying, again, some groups of, again, African Americans or Mexican or Hispanics are looked upon maybe in the medical, I didn't think about that, community in a way that, you know, is like we're hard workers, that, you know, we can take the pain. We don't need certain types of medication that can relieve the pain, because when they look at us, it's like we can withstand, we can endure. And so that starts to kind of like a bias or a typecasting of how a certain culture is looked upon, or as a woman, or gender, or even if we're talking about it, even in other communities as well. And I was like, oh my God, this is, again, we are typecasting. And this is what the divine masculine is kind of going through and shedding now, in order for us to get ready to go into that next dimension. So the dream came, I came down the stairs. What else did I said? Dad being upset and saying, I'm getting a divorce. I asked why. He stated, because I'm tired of your mom saying bad things about me. My dog Ebony tried to run out of the door after my dad. Now the dog represents, for me, and you know I call it LAF, L-A-F, your loyalty, your authority, and your friendly, how you connect to others. And I would say Ebony represents, since she's black, I would say the shadow aspect of it that we got to kind of work on. And that's what is kind of literally trailing behind the divine masculine energies, is those things that he's got to, in those energies. Just because I say he doesn't mean it's stipulated just to the male only. I'm talking about female, so I'm just going to say he. In the divine masculine energies, that's something that's got to be dealt with, as far as how loyal you are to something, how you stand in your authority about something in the world, and how you're connecting to the right people in the world. And that's got to be worked on. That's some of that part is coming from the shadow work or inner child or whatever, that again is causing for you to say, that's it, it's a change, I'm tired of it. And maybe that's because you have done the shadow work, that in some ways you feel like, okay, I've got to this is going to cause me to make this great change as well. So the DM is ready to separate. Some of that could be actually they are getting the divorce, or they could be actually, when I looked at it, something about divorce made me say that they were more driven. From the situation, which I thought was interesting. So my dog Ebony tried to run out, and I see my dad's uniform pants. Now, uniform pants, which symbolizes doing things in an orderly way without deviation according to society, family, or system standards. And so that's what it is. It's like, again, like somebody said, I'm hanging up my pants, I'm hanging up my uniform. The divine masculine energies are at this point where they're saying they're tired of doing it just a systematic way of what's expected to them. And this is where some of them are saying they're at the point that they feel like they want to divorce this or separate from it. And divorce means like whatever contractual thing I had signed up for this thing, I don't want to do it anymore as far as this role. You see them, even actors, they say they sign $1 billion contract to be with, to star in the role of Black Panther 3, whatever like that. So wherever the contract is to be, they say they want to kind of break it. I got my dog, but and I put her behind a gate that led to upstairs. And the gate would be, again, getting them secure, putting them again, like the garden and the gate. Understanding again that there's some things I think about the gate, looking beyond, really being able to kind of corral and kind of shelter and put it in place to make it more secure. Getting a handle on things too as well, as far as the light and the shadow. Stairs is ascension. We came from upstairs to come down. The divine masculine is dealing with right now energies in some, again, if you say dimensions, 3D, this worldly things, and this is what he's battling now, about this image or how things are being put upon him, these systems as well. Okay, and so this is where they are. And so I said I wanted to talk to Dad. He says he doesn't want to talk, that he had enough. And there is a group of divine masculines that are at their wits' end and have had it up to here. I see it like this. I'm had it up to here about the way people are talking to them negatively. Now that can also mean and as I talked to Barbara too, and we talked about in the podcast about how some of us are putting them in roles and expecting them to act or perform a certain way, a templating. And like I said in the podcast, there are two different ways that we're doing this, because even when I talked to my mom about it, she's like, well, I don't know what I'm doing, because what I'm saying is just facts. So there is what came to me, and I channeled even on the podcast. There's a covert way we're talking about it. Well, he's over there, he's trying to figure things out. He can't do any better. He's, he feels like he's really has a sense of duty to make sure that, that the kids in there, they feel secure, blah, blah, blah. Okay, now you have covertly placed them in that, made him seem like that. I see that free yourself card with the unicorn, where he cannot free himself, where he can free himself, but the way that you are imaging and seeing him is putting him, locked him into that situation. Or he's got money problems, it's gonna be kind of a little hard for him to kind of get out there. He want a divorce. I don't know how he's gonna be able to do that, because that take a lot of money. You don't know how, my mother say that time, you don't know what a person has. You don't know what money financially. If they putting things to the side, you done messed it up, because maybe you're sending that signal in their energy saying, I can't do it, I ain't got enough money, you know. And it might not be, again, as we talked about on the podcast, Barbara and I, that sometimes if you just go on ahead and move, the spirit say, I got you. You know, I got what's going to be the resource, or somebody's going to pay this, or somebody's going to do this. But all I need for you to do is to actually move. And so this is where the DM is. So he's leaving at night. Some of these divine masculines are going to do this. They're going to make this leap of faith of this fool's journey, which means in the darkness, meaning I don't know where I'm going. Maybe also the dark night of the soul is going to be a passage or a callus to push them to go on ahead to the next step as well. It will be a surprise to the family. Because when he did this, dad had did that to whoever he's representing. I'm like, where the heck this coming from? This is like, whoa, this is not like them. Why are they doing that? And I told my mother, don't worry, I knew where to find him. The next day we found my father at a restaurant sitting outside in the outdoor cafe part, and he was in a beautiful purple suit with a lilac shirt, and that had the most vivid colors of blue, purple, fuchsia. DM is at a point, and now this is why I break it down. So the DM is at a point of spiritual awakening and is getting down to spiritual business, because it still was a business suit, but it's not a typical one that you would go to a board meeting. I don't know why I say of Saks Fifth Avenue. Somebody, the fifth means something, 5, which means change, or in New York. So that doesn't make anything, make any sense for him to wear that type of suit. It's a little too artistic, a little too funky, a little bit, you know, that way how he's presented. But it still was business, but I would say that was a spiritual business suit that he was wearing. So Dad had a lot of papers when I walked up. I could see him have written on papers, napkins, just about everything that was in his surroundings. He wrote on. He says it's going to take 6,600, and I woke up. So I looked up the number 6,600. I didn't know if he meant the divorce. It's going to take 6,600 for me to divorce your mom. However, when I looked up the meaning of the angel number, it means nurturing and protecting of self. And so right now where the DM is at that point was is a preservation of self in situations in which choosing others has put them away from their true purpose of being a caretaker of self. By the DM getting away from the situation will allow him to time outside the situation to assess, reassess, recharge, I just put that in, his batteries, both physically and emotionally. This message is saying the answer for the DM in that familiar situation. So these are the DMs that got some familiar, which means they're in family ties. Some of them are in there because they're trying to clear bloodlines. They're trying to show a different way. So if the person don't have, well, you can still be single, and it's a reason why you're doing it. You might be doing it for the family, but it's specifically their theme is to learn their karmic lessons through family, or they're telling me that could be one aspect. Situations which represent systems, remember the pans, that are our life. And so any kind of system it can be a job, because sometimes people say my work family, or my wife, or my husband, job, husband, or work, husband or work wife, those things. Anything that's got a system, even the organization has a system as well. Time apart, and I mean, so that's anything. Time apart is upon you, and you need to see things and how they are not giving an equal give and take. So they're doing that. They're assessing and saying there's some DM energies, and that might be also you too as well. The DM energies across the board, they're saying, say to correct that. The DM energies across the board, so you can assess and look at your life. At this point, they're saying, where am I not getting the equal give and take? Have left you, and it has left you depleted. And the universe is now looking at you to start thinking of self. So this is the push that's going on for the divine masculine energies across the board. So the divine masculine energy is over committing itself. It is time to preserve your interests, relationships, and projects. Open your mind to new possibilities, like the doorway in which I led to the dark, which is the unknown. Yet stay positive in the face of challenges. Although the DM would want to see the actual view or what's actually going on as far as how the tough challenges are going to be solved, where are some of the lucrative opportunities, what are some of the random things that might happen if they do choose to take this new opportunity, and who they gonna meet across that is gonna help them, or is the goals, what goals should they abandon, and what things should they embrace. That is something that, again, the universe is calling them to be able to trust and surrender at this point. So the DM energies, remember, that's in all of us, needs to surround themselves with positive people, and these positive people will help them achieve their goals and care for them, such as the divine feminine energies, or just positive people, like I said, your good girlfriend, your family members that's not distorted, that's in a healthy place, because sometimes family members get that and then they twist it around and come from a whole different view. But you'll know who you can trust and who really sits and listens to you and gives you both sides of the coin, and you can tell that they got your best interests at heart. This is what we're talking about. You're going to talk to them. So the DM only needs to stay connected to true love at this point. This is what the universe is asking you through the angels' numbers. And people who truly love them and cherish them will show up for them. And this will help them, the DM, through the transitional process as they start to choose a new path through their transitional period. So the divine masculine energy, this running through the universe, is now transitioning. Okay. Also, they need to follow their heart, the DM energies. So you need to check in with your heart and gut. This is why getting that reading I told you about, that artificial heart that I had did earlier, is important. So go back and look back at that again and see that right now some of us in our DM energies have been operating from an artificial heart, not being true. It's like we're listening to those preservatives and additives from everybody else, but we are not listening to what's truly pure or natural, without any additives or preservatives that's added into that. The same thing, like I tell Mama about the meat. She's like, well, what's the difference between what you got there and what we got there? I eat those too. And I was like, listen, it just don't have all that extra. If it's grass fed, then that means that's it. It's not those other things. We had some chicken wings one day, and them things were huge. And I said, oh Lord, I said, if Dad seen these, he's like, I don't want that. I can tell that thing is loaded with a whole bunch of additives and things in there. And I was like, yeah, when I seen them, I didn't think they were that big. And I was like, oh Lord, no, we're not gonna get that big anymore. They look like turkey wings. But anyway, I digress. So right now, the universe is asking all of us, whichever way, again, if you have polar balance energies that you're working with, divine feminine and divine masculine energies, or you feel like you're in your feminine energies as you're watching this, or the divine masculine energy, your person is in their divine masculine energies, right now the universe is asking them to trust their gut and their heart. This is important. Because everything happens for, the DM needs to understand that everything happens for a reason, and that every experience is for his soul journey, okay, for the twin flame journey. So that does not mean, and that means, again, if your DM energies is calling for you to do a certain thing that you believe or has been programmed to you, that's going to take you off of your path, the universe is saying, again, do it, because that's exactly just like light travels on the path, off the path, on the path, off the path. It's going to it looks like it's taking you off the path, but Spirit wants you to know it's actually putting you on the path. So listen to this, because this is straight from the angels. Again, what our message that I've gotten from them, from the angel number, as far as how we can, again, the DM energies, if you're in a situation that you don't want to be, they're telling you specifically how you can be able to get out of it. Okay? And a disappointment is merely a reminder that you were not appointed for that time, place, person, or thing. And I talk about that in my podcast too. So you need to preserve your energy, DM energies, and resources in trying to pour into that to get understanding about a situation that is or has expired. So you don't no longer need to pour anymore into that situation, because right now it's like, again, I remember one time I was trying to get into an organization, and I told my elementary school librarian teacher, because I was still friends with her all the way up, even still into adulthood. When I see her, she remembers, because she knows me and my dad. And I remember she's like, I was like, I've tried this, I've tried that, I've tried this. And she's like, you know what that means? Like, Bertina, that means that channel is closed. And I was like, wow. She's like, right, it cannot get no more into it. Some of us are still dealing with things, and the channel is closed. We're trying it again. I seen some kind of what was that, or watching Mom with the Soap. She loved her soap. It was Young and the Restless, and the young lady was like, you know, why do you keep on trying to impress this guy? And this guy, he's not worth it. He's going to make you miss out on a great opportunity of being the CEO of a business, but you keep on kind of trailing behind him. And so that's the same thing. Some of us in some situations, as the DM energies, have been, again, trying to keep on connecting, holding out hope for something in a situation, karmic situation, or even divine situation. And that has been closed. It's not showing any progress at this time. I'll say like Mom, I'll keep hope alive, like Jesse Jackson say. Up until now, right now, it's closed. You know, they ain't doing like Bruno Mars saying, I'm keeping the door open. Right now, they say they closed because it's under construction. So in the meantime, you could do one or two things. You could sit there by the door and say, hey, one day it's going to probably open. Or you could go on ahead in life, experience some other things, and say, I'm gathering information so I can be able to bring this back to the connection, or it's making me better and greater in the process. As I'm doing this. Okay, so you can read in between the lines of which way I'm saying about that. But like I said, I don't, I keep it straight with no chasers over here as well. And some of this is what the universe is kind of pushing some of us to kind of, again, let's be the explorer. Let's go and explore some things. Not running, I said exploring, because running means you looking and you just going for anywhere. But if you're exploring, it's with the intent of, again, I'm trying to find myself, I'm trying to learn some new things, I'm trying to gain some new knowledge about some things, but I'm still tethered and connected to the connection too as well. So and this is to you, and I'm gonna say it too, because I know I watch back, so you know what I'm talking about. So the EMs should use their time, money, and talents wisely at this point. Because some of them, again, for these money things, again, if you're talking about divorcing something, really in the 3D term of something, you're really getting to the point that you want to save your money. You don't want to get crazy with that, because, you know, it's going to take some money for you to, again, to separate, to get away, find you another place or whatever like that. Again, wisely, again, if you're leaving a job, you want to have your little money saved, because, again, it might not be easy to jump from one place to another. Again, money, if it's, again, the house is becoming karmic, or you're saying, okay, I'm not giving no loves up in here, and so I'm moving into, like, say, no, you know, the other way, no F's given about where I'm at, then, you know, it's time for you to kind of save up on that down payment, you know, things like that. So you got to get wise about that. And so that goes for a job, I said, relationship, a place, all things that no longer serve you. This is where we are. Falls under this umbrella. Simply put, don't waste your gifts, or things that don't serve your highest good. And it reminds me of, I remember CP in Texas had told me that, your dad said you're a pearl, and you're throwing your things, you're throwing your pearls and your rubies and all that in front of, I think that's in the Bible. Swine, they don't really understand the value at this time. I'll put it nicely, okay? At this time, not saying they know inwardly they do, but if they're not following their gut and not their heart, they're not able to see it. Not saying it's intentionally to be spiteful or to be vindictive or having a vendetta, but if you're from distortion, as David says, they're not able to really truly see it from that vantage point, because you're there, like I say, flying around with chickens. You got to get up there like an eagle, like a hawk. Got to get up much higher from another vantage point. And that's why I was talking about the stairs and coming down. We had to come down the level. If you came up a little higher, maybe you'll be able to see the value that the person is bringing. So that's why I said, so know that the number 6, simply put, don't waste your gifts or things or time that don't serve your highest good. Know that number 6 is a symbol of family, home, and domestication. I'll put it that way. And we know we just came out of Cancer, which was the focus was on home. But again, Leo season is about the heart, warmth, the heart of the home, the hearth of it again. That again is also can be linked up with the Leo also energies as well. Excuse me. Don't mess with that. Thank you. Okay. So it's all about caring for others and creating a stable and loving environment. And so, again, if it's not stable, we learned that in Cancer. And if you didn't get it, it seems like it's kind of carrying over into the Leo season. If it's not resonating with your heart, let's say if your heart isn't in it, why did you tell me so? If your heart isn't in it, I would have been gone a long time ago. And so, this is where we are, like, star hopes and wishes and dreams. Some of us saying, if we pouring in this energy, we got to have some kind of, again, return. And some of the DMs are at that point in all different types of situations, person, place, and things, where they're not getting that return. They're getting that investment in, but then the return is not coming back. And so this right now, it's all about caring for others and creating a stable and loving environment. And the DMs have been getting this signal about things not being stable for quite some time. Okay, so they ain't been awakened. We're saying again, these are these DMs that I'm tapping into. These spiritual awakenings are happening. I've seen that even on videos, and they were talking about some of them say they awaken. I'm like a person say, I got the awakeness, now what do I do with it? It's like I don't have a clue, but I just know, and things are just like ain't resonating like it used to be. I was all right with it. Now things kind of irritate me a little bit more. I just want the justice on things that's not, it's like, okay, I used to can kind of like turn my head to it. Now it's like, I see it. I can't unsee what I just seen, and so this is where they are right now. So some try to ignore, some try to keep pouring into the figures, doing that, and they thought it would get better when they tried. And they knew in their gut and heart that it wouldn't. Okay, that's called not listening. We got to have that heart and mind coherence online. And this is what's working on. That's what's being worked on now with the divine masculine. And this is kind of sharpening. So the number 0 is a symbol of a new beginning. So infinity and in potential, that's what it means. Infinity means that even flow, that balance. Divine masculine, divine feminine, that yin and yang energies. This is what they're working on. So when these two numbers are combined, they create a very powerful meaning. 6600 is about taking 6600, in case you're from another country and don't know, Americans, we say 6600 on that one. It's about taking care of home. Home is you, home is your heart, home is where your twin flame journey or your twin flame relationship or connection resonates right here. So this is about that getting that together. Like I said the other day when somebody was coming through here with the lawnmower, and I said, oh, somebody's taking care of their mowing the lawn. That's about that on the outside, getting things together. And so the true home that dwells within the inside of us, again, it's about, again, they create a very powerful meaning. 1600 is about taking care of home, the true home that dwells within the inside of us, so that the outside of us can reflect that what we truly deserve within. And so the DM is getting pushed into this knowing. Although he feels as if he sees things as something isn't right, and I got to divorce it, but through the knowingness, there is truth and clarity as to what simply must be done, which is to take care of this thing called love, which is self, this love of self, and the one true love, which is the divine feminine energies, which again, if you're talking about yourself and you're splitting, again, the divine masculine energies is saying, I need to check in with the divine feminine, how I'm being, what I'm observing, how I am, the isness of me, not what I'm showing out there in public. And that's why I keep on saying there's got to be an intimacy between the divine feminine energies and the divine masculine energies coming together, being intimate, and then again, impregnating and started to give birth and manifestation to the things that matters of the heart. And some of us have not been, as funny as saying about the A word, about children. And you know, some of us are now doing things that are, again, divine masculine, self-sabotaging, which is kind of, again, not letting this baby or this idea or this dream to be born. And so with that, the divine and also the divine masculine is being pushed to also invest some time in the friendships that they have, which means the connections, which is, again, a healthy way of using laugh, L-A-F, being loyal in the healthy relationships or connections, being able to stand in your authority to healthy relationships, and how you are leading not only yourself but others, and then how you have these connections with people too as well. What ideas are you loyal to? Are you loyal to yourself? Because again, if your heart is telling you and gut is telling you one thing, and your mind is and ego is saying something else, you're not loyal to yourself, what you're actually feeling, your heart's desires. And so we have to now get at this point where we're preserving our loyalty, our authority, and our connections. We got to nurture them and we got to preserve them. That goes that I told you about the preservatives. And because the 6600 is bringing attention to that, the DM energies has been neglecting this type of relationship, and the time is now. I've told you all in several readings, even beforehand, that it was an urgency and there is a push. Okay, so this for this group of masculines that are ready, they've been kind of been sitting on this fence. I want to say is at the beginning of my reading career, doing spiritual readings and these things. We had this same masculine that's been sitting on the fence or sitting at the dock of the bay, just watching the tides roll away. Ain't made no decision, but understands that, again, what I said bay means beyond anyone else. Knows it, but they haven't even act on it. Ain't even try to, again, bring a ship in. The ship has come. They ain't seen ships come and go. They ain't decided to get their behind on the ship. They haven't decided, you know, it's like, okay, it's got to be something different. They haven't decided to jump off the fence. They don't care even if it's Humpty Dumpty made a great fall. At least I made the attempt to fall. And now I know what I got to do next time if I'm put back up on the fence. No choices, no nothing. Has been at this time. So the DM has been neglecting this type of relationship, which is this true love relationship or this healthy relationship. The spirit keeps on pushing and saying, this is what you deserve, and to make things right. And this also is one to say that service, also this number 6600, means for them to be in service to others and the community and humanity as a whole is at stake. I told you we're moving into another dimension right now. Spirit has told us, several of us, and some of us, these missions have been popping and saying, I got to start this. I got to start this project. I know even in my life, I had something else that has nothing to do with spiritual related, but it's something, again, that can be benefited by the world. And again, it's a push because, again, this is the reason why we came here as light workers. That's another mission that we have. We got the mission to self, to be the best version of ourselves, but we also have a mission also in the world in order to be able to change. That's why we're here. Light workers mean to shine light by whatever that we're doing. We got to make sure we are filled so we can be able to do others, and I'll talk about that. And so the mission in which some of the DMs have been linked with has been neglected. I know some people in the spiritual community, I would put you on blast. You ain't made no video since. You ain't did nothing with your thing, your website, your YouTube. Ain't seen a YouTube video since the beginning of COVID. You know, you saying you're doing this and that, but again, you know, this thing is multi. Just like, oh, they bring this to me. They say the mission is just like the divine masculine energies and the divine feminine energies. It's polar, the yin and yang. You have a mission that's going on within you. I'm getting hot, so you know this is spirit. You got a mission that's going on for yourself inside to turn you into change yourself internally. And then there's a mission that you got to change things that's happening externally, means out in the world. So if your spiritual mission is that, and that's what's happening on the outside, then that's what you need to be working on. And some of you all have not touched and did a darn thing since 2019. Some of y'all 2017, you've been sitting on it saying you're going to do it, but you ain't doing it. So right now, Spirit is saying that they're pushing you to be able to do that. When I'm getting hot, that's Spirit. So they want you to do that. They said that again as well. It has been neglected as well. And many have not taken up the assignment that they have agreed to and have used the duty to family or systems as a reason to why they have not fully gone into mission. This is the channel message. It's coming straight from the 6600 from the angels. And have not chosen to go on the full mission mode. The world is in need, they said, right now. And for some, their mission is getting with their person, finishing up, clearing up of bloodlines or family patterns, and are to come to a close. And that's what some of your things are. So it ain't to keep on going on it. And I can tell you, and I'm not going to go too much in depth about it, but I have seen that as also in life. Then with my dad, in some ways, again, about a relationship that he had and was not willing to kind of give it up, wanted to stay in there, and the universe had a way of saying, I'm sorry, this is going to have to end in a little tragedy because you seem not to be on gripping this. There's some DMs there that some of them are going to have to be pushed in a way. You know, you got that nice little, as K Moon said, they send you a little email or text message. You're like, okay, I'm going to get to it. And like I know what I got this thing I had to do and sign some papers and stuff. I'm going to get to it and get it in. Next thing they know, they're picking up the phone. Next thing they're doing, they're sending, I remember that. They're sending DHL, sign the documents because I asked you to, so now we're going to come up to your house. Or next time, they might even send, and I had that too, had sent a representative come to your house and say, I need you to sign these papers. So, you know, that's how spirit going to work. And you're like, dang, no, I can't leave it till you sign. So, I mean, you know, I'm going to keep on coming until you get it. Same thing is happening with the DM energies, okay? Some of you all have not. And again, like I said, I dislike for you to get that. I've seen that happen to Dad maybe 2 times, being hard-headed and call yourself, I'm doing it, but I'm going to kind of do it my way, and I'm going to kind of circumvent the system, but I'm still doing what you said because I'm still connected. And the Spirit's like, no, that ain't what I said. So they sent that hard towel in there. Medical emergency or a tragic trauma, tragedy happen. And so he's like, okay, now I'm gonna get back into the relationship. Okay, now I'm gonna get back in the, you don't want to get to that part about that. And I always ask him, I say that he say, hey, if it gets them to be able to, I sound like I heard, if it helps them to get to the next point and help them on their journey, because I was hard headed, then you were able to tell. So let's not get to that. And I mean, I had seen it, that the evidence of when you're hard-headed and you don't listen to what spirit tells you to. I know they said, I listened to a man that his name is Steve Terrell, and he's always talking about, in the cars, he got that deep southern accent. I told David this too. In the cars, it says that, the divine masculine wants to make his way to you. And it seems like he sure is really thinking about it, and he's really planning on it. And he right there in that planning stage. But again, you got to remember again that when I tell you these readings things here, that it is, this is from the vantage point of their soul and their spirit is saying they want this. But again, you still got free will. Free will also plays a part in it. So I'm telling you, they in their spirit and their soul, they want to do it. But again, you still got that free will. So again, there are some things, and I'm going to add a caveat to that and a disclaimer and a footnote to that, which is, I have seen it that if you don't choose it and you say, I'm going to do free will, Spirit tell you, if I said it's got to be done and I say I'm going to use you as a channel, it's going to make sure it's going to get done. Point blank. I done seen it. So you can skirt around it and do the dance if you want to. But if they said, no, this is again, and your soul, your higher self is really, and I can see your higher self looking down and say, do it. Because I've been telling them all along, you got to get back with her. You got to do this mission thing. They don't want to do it. They came up with 50 million different reasons why they can't do it. Then do what you got to do. We going to stand back, the twin, you, your other selves, other me, is going to be standing there as higher self and your higher self, and they get together and say, okay, go, just do what you got to do, because they're not listening. They're not getting on track with that. So I want to add that in there. I would like to be able to tell and say, yeah, that free will goes so much. And I've said that before, even at the beginning of it, that if it need to be done, it's going to get done. And I'd like to say by his will, it be done. And if it said that, it's going to do it. Okay. And so that's why I'm talking about these family lines. Like, it's got to be stopped, because maybe again, it's other lines coming behind you. And these other lines is coming behind. It's like, this other person in their contract, or this cousin or this baby that you're about to have ain't signed up for that stuff. It's like when you came along, you supposed to clear that. So when I come in, I ain't supposed to experience none of that karmic mess. So now you done messed up the whole chain of command. Now I got to do that. I didn't sign up for that. I didn't sign up for adultery. I didn't sign up for that. You supposed to clear that out from our bloodlines. That ain't my job. So if some of that stuff, you're going to get pushed. This is what I'm getting channeled with, that you're going to get pushed into that. And they're nice. Like I said, spirit is nice. They let you kind of do your little dance. Oh, that's so cute. That's so cute. Look at them doing the cha-cha. They 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. And that's cute. And we going to dance with them. And then we going to start like musical chairs. Take that record, scratch that record, and say that's enough dancing. It was cute. Now let's get on back to what you got to do. And now let's reboot, okay, to what we just told you to do, And so that's what happens. And sometimes they do, and they telling me this. They say sometimes they kind of work with you a little bit. Okay, we can compromise on it. We ain't that hard. We ain't like the gangsters saying, Big Angel like, no, you gonna do it the way we said you gonna do it. It's like we can compromise, but again, it's got to be a little bit of what we said, a little bit of this. But you have to remember again, like they say, the 6600 wants to bring it to your attention and understanding that what you're doing is also affecting other people around you. That's that pebble effect. Again, and so like I say, generations come behind you, they're not supposed to be experiencing that. It's supposed to be like full stop right there with you. Okay. And so then again, old paradigms and ideologies, philosophies based on roles and gender roles are ending. Okay. And for that calls from the universe is to create a strong foundation for a harmonious world is the focal point. This is what they're being drawn us to. So this number can also stress enough the importance of self-care. It's about self. It's about really taking in that Aries energy. And really Aries energies is really about, again, about self, independence as well. Use that kind of thing. Again, some of those energies you can call from astrology to kind of help you out too. So we have to take care of ourselves physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually in order to be able to effectively care for others. Again, that goes back to, again, like Kathy D said, you got to put that mask on yourself, that oxygen mask on yourself, and then you turn around and then you put it on your children. They always say that on the plane because you want to make sure that you're straight. Right now on the walk of this journey or life, they're asking you to make sure you're right because you cannot pour from an empty cup. Okay, and they want to really stress to you that you need to be balanced and healthy. So we are able to give our best to the world when we do this. So take some time for yourself to recharge. I told you the new word, they say also reboot. That was cute. And renew your energies. Recharge, reboot. So you got to power up again. So take you some naps or whatever. Like I told my other me that. I said, you need to take a nap. I can't take no nap. Okay. Well, you know, sometimes you'd be surprised how a 5-minute nap can get you back in the game again. I did that in the classroom. I closed the door and I would do that. So they're saying you can do this by either spending time in nature, which is just like how my dad did in the dream where he was out in the cafe, and when he was out in the cafe sitting in the sun, he's like, voila, I got the answer. It's going to take me 6,600. Okay, the angel number. So again, self, meditate, do things that bring you joy. Okay, if it's making cookies or go visiting your good friend or go dancing or whatever, just like doing, just do that. And again, doing this is going to be a step, like I said, a strategy to help you get the answers. You'll be surprised after a good night's walk or whatever. Like I go to the gym, I go walking on treadmills. It clears my mind, and then I am loving awareness. Good, beautiful. And so it gives you a loving awareness. I was about to dismiss it and say, no, that's the point. It helps you to get into that loving awareness about things. And so this is it, because again, they want to stress you doing this will help us not pour from an empty glass or empty cup, as I said, while trying to help the world. The DM, it's important that you do this so you can then overflow with love, light, and healing energy for others. Okay, and remember to the interconnectedness of all things. We are all connected at a soul level, and our actions have an impact on the whole world. And that's why I say it's light workers. That's very important. So 6,600, how many pages I got? Oh, wow. 6,600 is asking that as the DM finds the solution, how his words and actions are affecting those around you. And they want you to think about that too when you're doing things. How does it affect? Because just like Barbara was saying, that a person told her to watch it, say, because her words are powerful. They can give death and life. And say, like, no, I mean, like yours is concentrated to the ninth power. Us as light workers are pretty much, again, that way too as well, that our voice can do that. So we got to watch that. And are they coming from, and then your words and your actions, ask yourself this too as well. Are they coming from a place of love or fear? Every thought and action creates energy that flows out into the world. So DM is now going through his spiritual awakening, helping him to choose to create positive energy by acting from a place of love, compassion, and kindness about his current situation, but most of all, choosing self. So they want you to, again, DM energies to comfort that. Use compassion, use kindness, and use positive energy to be able to help them, but you got to most of all choose yourself in it. So just think, he believes he is being kept at bay or keeping the peace by not rocking the boat right now in certain these situations for the DM. But is this really truly compassion? Is this truly kindness? Or is this the true fear hiding as compassion? And that's what I'm feeling. A lot of them say, I'm staying in here for the kids, but are you really showing compassion? Is that really the true way to do that? To have somebody stuck in a relationship that you know you don't have any love for, you just going through the motions of. I seen, just coming on here, I seen on somebody's video that said the DM was saying through the cards, I'm not being intimate with that person. I'm not being intimate with with the person, with the karmic. You know, and how does that make that person feel? You know, it's like, okay, you here, I got a body, you know, maybe they still in love with you, and I can understand that. Heck, you know, my other person or other me is fine, and so again, you know, that's kind of like torture for me to see you and lay next to you, and I can't lay my hands on you. We can't do nothing, you know. But again, it depends on how the situation became. That, you know, again, maybe it's the staying. I can't stand you, you can't stand me, but we just lay in the bed together. Who wants to be in that kind of situation? Like one burning bed away from doing a remake of the movie Burning Bed. You know, so but we don't need to do that. Okay, so I know he believes that, but the DM energies is not really being compassionate because you're not experiencing really true. This now is where the true hard work and dedication comes into focusing and working towards their goal. The DM comes in, and especially when they want to reach this new beginning. These new beginnings are yours to have, DM, but complaining about it, feeling like you're in a rut about it, doesn't create change. And some of them are just kind of nagging about it. You talk to them and like, yeah, woe is me, I don't like this, my boss is on my A, all this stuff, but you're not creating a change there. And you just really have to just trust that the universe has something better in store. And you need the universe is telling you, the angel number is saying, have faith, take some risk, stay in gratitude and appreciation. This is what the number 6600 is telling you. This also is this is also a warning or a concern for them to make sure that the DM is taking care of their health, because some of them are in these relationships that are not in alignment of who they are is kind of wearing heavily on them, and it's causing some issues in this area as far as health. Remember that your body is your vessel, and that it houses your soul, and healthy choices are being called on you at this time, because some of us maybe be drinking more, maybe smoking more, maybe, you know, eating things that are not good for comfort, as April Williams said, you know, this comfort food, and sometimes that stuff, and it becomes taxing on you right now. Some of the things they're asking for you to be on is kind of light, watching the food choices that you make too, making sure that those choices are not keeping you in that pain body. You want it right now. It seems that this time you need to be a pristine, working your body, everything on alignment, so you could be able to do this. Also, this number 6600 is about abundance and prosperity. It wants to remind you also, while you're going through this, the DM is to know that abundance and prosperity is yours. This number also comes to put the DM at ease about what might happen to them if they choose to separate, or they ask to, again, from this person, place, a thing, or they ask about this, getting this divorce from this toxic situation that is not aligning with their truth. The universe wants them to know there is plenty of abundance flowing freely wherever, and it open. All you got to do is just open yourselves up and to receive. So in conclusion, the DM energies are in very compatible vibration with what they desire. Okay, so right now they're like right there on the precipice. I'm seeing it like they're right there on the cusp, like this, right there. All they gotta do is reach out there, like say, knock, and the door shall open. Right now, many of the divine masculine energies are just standing by the door, and they're again trying to decide, should they knock or should they just go on ahead and say, like dealers, let me go to door number 1 instead of the door that's really nice and shiny, and spirit is telling them, and some of them is like, this is too good to be true. This is just telling me that this is the door. This is really not. Every door is plain, but this one's got all blinged out. It's got all sparkly things, and you're telling me that again, this is the door. I can't believe it. And you know, that's another issue. So it's time, divine masculine energies, according to the angel number, for you to get down to business. It's time to get down to spiritual business. You need to allow your crown, by the colors that was worn on the tie that my father had. So they're saying you need to work on your crown. You need to allow your throat and your higher heart chakras to lead the way. Use the law of attraction. Set intentions. Use positive thoughts. Deeds means what you're doing for others. Beliefs to move the wheel of fortune, like in the tarot cards, to create that chariot of change energy to come into manifestation. Have the DF and the DM energies to become intimate. I told you about that. Come together to manifest the reality that you seek to have. This is a ongoing process. This ain't no wham bam, thank you ma'am, we out to bed and I'm moving on and then we should have a baby. Just like again, just in the act of sex and intimacy, you know that it takes 9 months to make a baby. It's got to go through the processes of doing that. So again, some of you all that in there, it's like, okay, he gonna divorce it, I'm gonna see him. No, it's gonna take you 9 months. Once he is again that infertilization, or the fertilization process happens in him, and he wants the desire to, and he's actually making actions. Action is that movement that we have during sex, with is the in and out. You gotta have that, the actions, because you can do it, and then is this there? We adults here, but if you ain't doing some kind of like that motion, which means that movement to get to birth, or to again to cause that fertilization process to happen, and again for things to, again, that's what spirit and it takes over. As long as you saying the act there, again, then we can manifest that. Once we do that, and it starts again in the divine feminine, which means within, it'll start to be getting ready to show without. I'm pregnant with this idea. I'm pregnant with this manifestation. I'm divorcing. I'm leaving. I'm getting this job that I want. Again, some of them, again, if you talk about divorce, you know that's kind of a lengthy process. It's going to maybe take you 9 months. You can count it. Once you get heard it through the grapevine that your person say, I'm saying that's it, or you can feel it in your energy, something's new. I think they're ready to let go and be unglued. Okay, because before they were stuck like glue. But something tells me they wanted something new, because they've been feeling quite blue. So it's all up to you, because you know what to do. Don't be no fool. You have the tools. Stop playing like you're cool. Take times and relax. And go in the pool. So you need to relax. Water is also spiritualization, cleansing, like baptism too as well. Okay, they channeling. My head is itching. This is an ongoing process. There is an unusual phenomenon that's going on right now, where you got the moon, the Leo, these energies, the planetary shifts, things are going on. Use that to your advantage. That's why I had those subliminal messages, just to remind you to get yourself in alignment for with the energies. Leo moon, Leo sun. Hit it. Play that thing. Play those messages to remind yourself what you are supposed to be in alignment for, so you can make this manifestation happen. The DM, you are favored. And it was interesting, used by suspicious happiness. Some of you might be a little suspicious about the happiness that you're receiving. There is, according to say, don't be suspicious. Just know, but just go on and feel. Don't know where it's coming from, but you just know that it's that knowing what the Bible says. There's a peace that passes all understanding. This is what some of them are experiencing. So I don't know what's happening, but I just feel like happy. I just feel like something's on the horizon. I can just feel it. I just feel it. It's just shifting. And so there is a big change. And the spiritual awakening is occurring for the divine masculine. So, again, it might be in small, big, whatever it is. But, I don't want to hear them more. They ain't awakened. They are. They just don't know what to do. And to us, it's appearing as if they are not awakened. And so there are only obstacles that will get. There are some obstacles that will get into the way. And those obstacles are called doubt and fear. So watch your thoughts and your ideas, for this is the being manifest. And right now the universe is manifesting your desires. Be unwavering. Have unwavering faith right now. Know that the universe never gives you an idea that would not be able to realize, to come into realization. I'm going to say that again. Know that the universe never gives you an idea that would not be able to be realized. I'm going to say that one more time for the people in the back that was watching, or either you were driving or you was walking as I was talking. Know that the universe never gives you an idea that would not be able to be realized. This also warns you that your thoughts have a driving force to you. You may need or want to get the divorce, or you might want to divorce the ideas of the negativity too as well. Both, or you might want to divorce the positive, both the negative, the DM energy, and the positive energies, the divine feminine energies. Like, I can't do this, but you need to focus. Focus on what is good and the desires of your heart. This number is 6600, is a wake-up call and awaken code, or a consciousness code, or awakening code. So the DM energies in you and me, and in your person or your other me, needs are opening and are beginning to notice more. And it appears to be that they're in the first stages of spiritual awakening about something. If you've been at this walk before, it's a new spiritual awakening about something, like some new things are coming online in a new way of you seeing things. Although you say, I've been on this walk 21 years. Again, this is something brand new. I told you before, we're not going to know everything. They're not going to throw everything to us. Sometimes it's a little sprinkle at a time. And this is why for you, it's going to be brand new. And then the person who is just coming online to understanding that, oh my God, it's something to this relationship, or it's something that I'm feeling. This is going to be brand new to them as well. And right now they're saying again, so let your higher self be your guide. Go ahead and be a light worker. Be a light to yourself. To wake up yourself and also those around you. Choose your thoughts wisely. I'm going to stress that again. And use the positive energies of the universe. They will be sent to you and given to you on a regular basis. Those of you all that's kind of shaking, okay? And basis, and through an energetic gate. Remember the gate I told you about that, and I put my baby behind the gate. That's what they're talking about, that energetic gate, because I wanted them to be protected, and I wanted them to be in that and not to come out into another consciousness or into worldly thing, to really truly have that. That has been open. So make sure you, if the energetic gate has been open to you, like the colors my dad had on his tie, and then also be putting that. So Ivory, which is my other baby, was behind the gate, positive energy. It was Ebony, which was adventuresome, and then wanted to explore, kind of getting out of from not being in the center, but want to be in that worldly stuff. Ebony, when she tried to, had put behind the gate. And so when we put ourselves behind that gate and really kind of box ourselves in to say, no, this is what we're going to do. We're going to stay on task. We're not getting off task there. And when we do that, we really align ourselves for our energies to be energized and accelerated to create a, I don't know what that word is, something of your dreams, to alignment, to create an alignment with your dreams and desires. So this is what is going on with the Divine Masculine energies right now, that they brought to me with the dreams, with my dad. They have really been giving the keys to how we can get out of these situations. And that's what really has been, like I said, with this thinking and us ruminating over here and helping us to understand what's going on with our person. Some of them in those marriages or things that they want to kind of get rid of that's no longer suiting them. Us, as well as divine masculine energies within us, wanted to get rid of. And so that 6600 is a number that's really truly helping us to understand how we can release ourselves from that situation and what's the call of the universe is asking for us through divine guidance. All right then, as always, if you need a reading with me, or you need me to do some kind of reading, channel reading, a message that needs to come to you, remember you can go to divineunisouls11.co. If you also want to get a past life regression session with me, remember the sale is still going on for 2 hours for $125. That's for, again, after August the 12th. I'm only available on the weekends. Before then, you can catch me on the weekdays. So if you want to, again, get that and take advantage of that. And there's some things, patterns, and some breakthroughs that you say, I want to resonate and get into that with the DM energies, but I keep on doing things and stuff is just not coming together. Look into that. Treat yourself, invest in yourself, like they say, self, again, and see about what is it that we can be able to help you answer through hypnosis as well, and to really get down to see if it's something in your past, your childhood, or other lifetimes that's playing a part. So go to AshantiWellnessCenter.com and to book a reading with that. All right then, I know this is helpful. I'm going to even watch this over again for myself to truly get an understanding about what is going on with myself. And there's a lot of messages that is in here. So, whatever they share with me, I share with you, because I believe for us to be on the same channel together and you're attracted to this channel, there's something of likeness, like attract like, and that we're going through some of the same walks in some ways, in some form or fashion, that by me going what I'm doing and I'm reaching back to help you and give you some of the answers that you might be seeking, we'll be able to make your walk much easier, or you can see what things that you need to kind of change and tweak. All right then, so thank you for coming here to get the truth from spirit. Again, the angels spoke this time, and they said what we need to do, and we thank them for that. That's why they say if you open yourself up, spirit is going to give you the answers. The help will come. Divine help will come. Either it's people or whatever. So keep that in mind. All right, because I can talk. So it's always, again, I do my call for my podcast. Make sure that you check out the one with Barbara too as well. I had a lot of good things about that. She's talking from the aspect of the Orishas as well, and just although it's a different culture. She's also talking about twin flames, some things of her walk and journey. She's sharing about that. She has some good golden nuggets in it too, as well, that you can walk away. And I kind of talked about it that today as well. So make sure you go over there and you take a listen to that as well. That link is in the community tab too as well. Make sure that I give you permission to, and I thank you so very much to those of you all that have been liking and sharing and subscribing to this channel too as well. And the more you do that, the more it helps me to know how I can be able to help you, because you're pouring your energy into that like, so that way I can be able to tap into that, because a lot of people will tell you I am a clear channel. I can pick up. You don't have to even, you get a reading with me. I don't need to know nobody's birthday. I don't need to know your person's name. I really don't need to know your name. You could just slap me the money down and I could take it from there. That's how clear and connected I am to source about that. And so that is something, again, keep that in mind. So again, take a time out to help you all out. It is a pleasure to do, because like I said, you're helping me while I'm helping you. And so again, you pouring into that like, you pouring into that share, that subscribing to this helps us to keep, and like they said, interconnected as well. So keep that in mind too. I know, and I told you about what's going on in the spiritual community, and I also shared that in the community tab from Wicked Tarot. I'm not going to go into the other things about the thing and give that power, but I know that it's power in numbers. And again, us coming together and find ourselves to rise above and being up there on the same level where people tell about how you can curl. I'm used to as well, how you can do twist curls and all that stuff like that, and makeup, and there's nothing wrong with that, and looking at cute little dog videos. But our stuff needs to be pushed up there in the algorithms at the same level as them. And I believe that everybody should have an equal opportunity as well. And so some things have changed even before COVID, that now when we used to be all on the same level, it has now came imbalanced. It's more so about the worldly and less about the spiritual thing, and it should be an even balance. So I'm gonna keep on pushing and keep on doing what I'm doing here, and that whatever it is, that if I can help you with what I'm doing, that is great. All right, go out there and shine. And as always, stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascended. Namaste. And Spirit say, watch this over again, take your notes out, and again, and see about what things you need to change. All right then, that's probably me, it's talking to me. All right then, stay namaste and nama go. All right, love you. Until next time.